Hello, everybody. Welcome back to season 3 of the AB1 GK podcast. I think today's podcast is going to be a little bit of a special one. Our brand owner, Asmir Begovic, joins me as a co host. But today I'm going to host and I'm going to interview Asmir and talk to Asmir about his move to QPR. Since we've last been on a podcast, Asmir's been a very busy man and we haven't had a chance to squeeze a podcast in. So I'm going to talk to him about his move to QPR, what his summer's been like, and the process of signing for a new football club and what it's like. And I want to, sort of divulge into everything Asmir Begovic and this summer. And we also may touch upon a brand new collection of goalkeeper gloves. Asmir, welcome along to the podcast.
Well, Martin, it's always a pleasure to be here with you. I love co-hosting these episodes and this podcast with you. But I guess it would only be appropriate if we talked about some recent events. I know people have been really dying to hear about what's happened and what's been going on, and it seems like the perfect opportunity to really go into things. And obviously, myself having just recently joined QPR, which I'm super happy about, and I know you know all the details, but I'm not sure everyone else does. So I think it's great to obviously touch on it, and I think our podcast overall, Martin, I think what a season we've had. Just the last two episodes with Ben Foster and then Darren Ward, we had to put that into two parts because it was that good. So some of the guests we've had this season so far have been absolutely incredible, I think.
Yeah, we've been really lucky. That I think the two we did with Ben were some of my favourite podcasts we've ever done.
Yeah.
His stories and what he came to us with was unbelievable. I've enjoyed every guest that we have, and like today, just to have you as a guest to talk to you about your summer, Asmir. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to share the story as well. I want to roll back though to the end of the Premier League season and that final game with Everton against Bournemouth, and the season come to an end. I think you kind of knew going into that game it'd be your last at the football club. How was it signing off at Goodison Park? You know, fantastic football club. What was the emotions like?
Yeah, I mean, I think the emotions were really high. I think going into that last game, I mean, just being part of a team and being part of Everton, where I don't think anyone would have ever wanted to be part of a team, Everton getting relegated. I mean, I think it would have damaged everyone's reputation. I think there's a legacy you want to try and leave behind, and the fact that I've had 2 difficult years at Everton and walked into some of the most difficult years that football club's seen in a long time. And the fact that we were able to survive meant a lot. It took an unbelievable effort by the boys, obviously, on the last day, that the boys that played. I think when I look back over the last 2 years, I think some of the resilience we showed at times, I think when a lot of people have written us off for many different reasons, is something we can be proud of. And I really hope that those players that are left over, and the manager now, of course, and Sean Dyche, can take a bit of positivity from that and really move that into the future and really take that as a strength, the resilience, the character, and togetherness everyone showed when it really mattered the most, and hopefully move that into the future. But it was a crazy last month. I mean, I look back. I think the win against Brighton was massive. Of course it was. But even the draw, the way we scraped the draw with so many injuries and players going down at Wolves, second last game of the season, and you just don't know at the time how massive a point like that was. But the fact that we were able to keep it in our own hands going into the last game, and then of course getting the job done against Bournemouth was massive. So signing off on that note was relatively pleasing. Of course, I wouldn't have imagined my 2 years at Everton being involved in 2 relegation scraps. I couldn't imagine it, but yeah, I had a feeling that it was time for a new challenge, for many different reasons. I think professionally, I think also from a human side of things. Yeah, I definitely had a feeling that, especially if we stayed up, that it was probably time to move on.
You become a free agent, Asmir. Have you been a free agent before in your football career?
Martin, funny enough, I've been a professional for 18 years. This was the first time in my career that I was a free agent. I was always under contract at least a year, or someone had to buy me out. So the fact that I was moving into the summer as a free agent was was actually pretty exciting in a way. And I wanted to experience the whole thing. And I'd obviously never experienced it before. So going into the summer as a free agent was definitely a new experience for me.
Yeah, your summer. Talk us through your summer. So the season ends. I guess the first thing you want to do as a professional footballer is go away and have a bit of downtime. You've spent a long period of time probably away from your family and working and traveling up and down the country with Everton. I guess the first thing you probably want to do as a dad and a husband is get home to your family.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think one of the downfalls of being a professional footballer is the fact that you have to travel a lot, and I've traveled so much over the years. I've been with my wife for many. We've been together for 16 years. I've got a 13 and a 6-year-old girl, and I haven't seen them much over many years. That's the price you pay at times for playing at the highest level. And of course, you get to a stage of your career where the family are quite settled, the kids are quite settled in their schools and with their friends, that you're the one that ends up doing the traveling. So for the last couple of years, especially, I was doing a lot of traveling up and down the country. My family have been based down south for many years now, and they're very critical ages. So the fact that I was doing a lot of traveling up and down, not seeing them much, as you rightly say, as soon as that season ends, we were on the first flight out on holiday, and that Monday morning. Now it was also half term for the kids, so actually it worked out really well, and I couldn't wait to just get away from it and try and switch off, because the situation we were in became so consuming as well. I mean, it's overwhelming to say the least. Whether you're playing, not playing, whether you're one of the leaders in the squad trying to keep morale up, and whatever it is you got to do, trying to keep people together, it's an incredibly overwhelming situation. And so the relief on everyone was huge when we stayed up, and then you just try and get away from it all, and then switch off the phone for a little bit. And that's exactly what I did, just to get away for a week and get some sunshine and spend some quality time with the family was exactly what the doctor ordered.
And then you obviously come back and I guess your phone begins to ring. People realize you're a free agent. Clubs start knocking at the door. There was many clubs knocking at your door this summer, Asmir. Talk us through what happened once you got back from that holiday.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the first thing to really box off and tick off was my situation at Everton, Martin. Like I said, I had a feeling towards the end. It was time to move on. But the club where I still obviously hadn't resolved the situation. It was always something that was going to be dealt with at the end of the season. We had some conversations in the middle of the season, which didn't get us anywhere. And then it was time to kind of resolve that. So I spoke with the director of football, Kevin Telwell, and the offer they made me and what I was thinking didn't match at all. And I think the fact that, of course, I wanted to go and try and play, be a number one somewhere, and I wanted to move closer to my family. So it would have had to be something that I would have really had to justify to myself to come back to Everton and continue to do travel and put my family through it, my body through it. So the fact is, yeah, that was the first thing to box off. And once that became clear that we weren't gonna reach an agreement, we said our thank yous and goodbyes, wish each other the best, and I have to say I couldn't be more grateful for the last 2 years in the sense that I was able to be part of that family and community at Everton. The city, you bleed, the Everton fans bleed blue blood. It really is as simple as that, Martin. I mean, I think, you've been in the game, you've been around as a fan, as someone who's been in the game, what a club means to a community at times. And Everton really is right on top of that list. How close they are to the people, to their fans, was massive, and to be part of that was really well and truly an honor, and I can't thank them enough. So that was really cool, and I had to send out my statement, and I'm really grateful for those 2 years. I'll never forget them for all the right reasons, really. And then, yeah, as you rightly said, then the fun and games begin. Some people make plans for the new seasons earlier than others. They've got things to clear up, as you rightly say, goalkeeper situations, contract situations, and all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, then the fun and games begin. And obviously, then when I came back into the country, and it was nice to obviously the phone to ring for a few teams. and have those conversations on the phone and set up meetings, whether they were in person or online. It was absolutely massive to try and meet as many managers as possible and try and see how we can potentially work together and what things would look like. So, yeah, the process started pretty much, I guess, at the beginning of June, really.
And you had loads of clubs at the door. There's no, it's spoke about in the press, and it's no secret you had Premier League clubs knocking at your door as well as Championship clubs. I know there was clubs abroad as well that were looking at you. I guess with your situation, you spoke about your family earlier on in the podcast. They're very settled. I guess like the opportunity to go abroad, was it something you thought about or not really because of that family situation with the family being settled?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Martin. Of course, that was huge for me, right? To make sure it was right for the family. I think you get to a stage in life where you're not the number one priority all the time, right? So,
Mm,
but I also wanted to go into things with an open mind. I listened to many people. I listened to most clubs. Of course, there were some people that got in touch that was just never going to happen. Um, but yeah, I looked at it in open mind. Yeah, I mean, could it take a box the fact that I get to be a number one or compete to be a number one was massive. Yes, and then is the project right? Um, like I said, I wanted to really go things with open mind. I wanted to take the month of June, beginning of July, really as a month to listen to as many people as I could and see what really worked well. Who had the right ideas? What was the project like? What was the process in place? Was the right people? Could we work together? Was the vision aligned? So, what was the feeling like? And of course, you have opportunities abroad. You have opportunities from other parts of the UK and Britain. Obviously, the Saudi market was on the phone, and that's obviously something that's heating up a lot over the world of football right now. So
mm.
definitely a lot of things to take into consideration. And I really wanted to, as you rightly said, Martin, first time I was a free agent, I really wanted to make the most of the process because it's not something you're in every day. So I did want to
Mm.
listen to as many people as I could. And, really thankful there was a lot of interest. And I think it was only fair and right to do so.
And Asmir, QPR come knocking at your door. How did it all come about?
Well, actually, yeah. I mean, they were the club that was the championship season obviously finished a bit earlier than the Premier League.
Mm,
So the championship clubs were probably the first ones that started reacting to things. They knew their fates sooner than the Premier League teams. So it was only natural that they probably started calling first, whether it was a manager, director of football, a goalkeeper coach. So the goalkeeper community is incredibly small. So
mm.
everyone
Everybody
everyone
talks.
knows everyone. Everyone talks, as you rightly know. Um, and yeah, there was contact made pretty early in the summer, and then of course some Premier League teams came, and I was really fortunate to meet some incredible people and managers, goalkeeper coaches that they were just that I have nothing but the utmost respect for. And yeah, QPR came in really early, set out their stall, and really kind of sold a vision. Something really cool to be a part of, and I really had a good feeling, and I really dig the vibe of obviously the manager, Mr. Gareth Ainsworth. The goalkeeper coach, Gavin Ward, he's a fantastic guy. He's got a great reputation in the game. And something, yeah, I really wanted to be, yeah, I felt really good about it. And I was really interested from the get-go. I know it seemed that, maybe people thought it was a long shot in a way. But I had a really good feeling. I think the owners really want to take the club forward now. The new training ground is unbelievable, Martin. I mean, what they've done with that facility is absolutely incredible. So that was really nice when I got to see that.
It's
And
been a huge investment for them that training ground, isn't it? They've put a lot of money into it.
well, and rightly so. It's the place you get to work every day, and they've done so well in bringing players through the system for for so many years now. You see some of the players that they've sold on and moved on. So it's really important to a club. I think if you've got a good facility and a place to work and produce and develop players, then I think it's massive. And I think QPR really have their priorities straight. So getting to see that was great. And I just had a good feeling. And I think they got to a point really sort of middle of July where one, I was ready to go back to work. Um, Could have waited longer. There was other irons in the fire, potentials, ifs, buts, and maybes, and some other good options. But yeah, I was really good, ready to go back to work. I felt really good physically, rested mentally, enjoyed a few weeks. I mean, I promised my family 6 weeks for sure, and got to about 6, 7 weeks, and I was ready to go. And it just felt good, Martin. And then, most importantly, the human side. I think the connection with the staff, with the players, has been great. And then, of course, the fact that I get to be at home every single day and be a husband and a dad on a regular basis. Yeah, is really important. I think it keeps you well balanced. I think it keeps your life in balance, and my kids and my wife deserve that as well. So it really felt like a really good option on so many different levels.
Yeah, and you remember meeting Gareth Ainsworth for the first time. What did he have to say when you first met him? Did he sell you the vision of the football club and what they want to do this coming season, and also like the longer term vision for QPR as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was definitely both elements. I think initially it was it was a really young squad. We have still a very young squad. I've upped that average age a little bit, and Morgan Fox has come in, so we've upped the age a little bit. He's still a bit younger than me, so um, it was a really young, talented squad. I mean, the talent I've seen now firsthand is incredible. And he just wanted some leadership, senior pros who can show the way on a daily basis. With their habits, with their work ethic, and of course on the field when you do get to play. So it sounded like a really good fit. He was honest. It was a difficult season last year for the club. There's no getting away from it. He came in later on, and thankfully they were able to survive. And I think this year is to obviously try and avoid those sort of issues, have a good season, and hopefully kick the club on, because everything's in place for us to be really successful.
I was just looking at it. It's a while ago since they were in the Premier League. It's 10 years ago since QPR were in the Premier League. Have they got ambitions again to try and work their way back towards the Premier League? I know that everybody wants to be in it. It's a huge task, that division, the Sky Bet Championship. What a division! We'll talk about that in a minute. But what are the ambitions for the season, Asmir? To push up as far in the league as they possibly can.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, Martin. I mean, as you rightly say, the Championship is such a good league. I mean, some unbelievable clubs. The size of some of the clubs here is incredible. And then, as you rightly say, I think this league, if you can get it right, listen, if you can compete every week, if you're a competitive side, if you have a bit of luck on your side, of course, if you can manage injuries, then it could be anyone's game, really. Those playoffs make things interesting, keep teams in the running. And then if you get on the run, as we've seen with Luton, as we saw with Coventry last year, teams like that, you just never know. You just never know. And I think for us, it's to be, I think, more solid than last year. I think that's important. I think if we can give ourselves a better platform this year than last year, then I think why couldn't we be in the mix? But of course, there's the other end to it where, listen, we have to earn the right to stay in this division first and foremost, and then maybe we can kick on from there. So we won't count any chickens just yet. I think we have to go step by step, and hopefully, we get started into the season in the first few months really well, and then the second half of the season, anything can happen. Anyone can go on a run.
It's going to be such a competitive league next season, the Championship. You look at the teams that have got relegated. You've got big clubs going down. The Leicester City have gone down. They've done some early business. You've got the likes of Southampton down there. Leeds have gone down. You've still got Watford in the division. Coventry were good last season as well. How do you see the season unraveling? There's some good teams in there, but everybody, it's so competitive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anybody can beat anybody on their given day, can't they?
Well, that's why it's one of the most entertaining leagues in the world, Martin, because really, we're sitting here. Obviously, you're a massive Southampton fan, so you're looking at it as well, and really no one can predict it. I think it's a league where 24 teams compete against each other. It's really where 24 teams seem to go out every game. No one really is too frightened of anyone. I don't think there's. I mean, there is obviously favorites. There's always favorites. The teams coming down. It goes without saying they're big sides and that they want to do well. But I think there's obviously lots going on. So I think from that point of view, it's anyone's game. It's a fabulous league to be part of. It's a fun league. It's a relentless league. And having been in it before, it's actually a lot of fun. So I think we're going to enjoy it. I'm really looking forward to enjoying my football again and having a lot of fun and just seeing what the season has in store. Because I think anyone predicting the championship, good luck. Because if you look at the last couple of years, I'm not sure many people would have seen it coming.
Asmir, your last time round in the Sky Bet Championship, you were voted the goalkeeper of the season. You were in the team of the season. You had would you say one of your best ever seasons as a goalkeeper that season with Bournemouth in your last time round?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I had an absolute blast last summer. I mean, I've had a couple. Obviously, had a loan spell before back in the day, and having that full season in the championship actually was so much fun. So many games. It was absolutely relentless, and yeah, I just had a lot of fun. Like I said, it's the most important thing is if you can enjoy what you do, and if you do that, then things can happen. And that was a massive honor for me to be voted by the players and everyone into that team of the season. And let's see what this season can bring. I really want to try and help this team get results, and if I can do that, then I'll be very pleased.
Asmir, you've been given the number one shirt, so I'm guessing you're going to be the number one next season. How does it feel to be the number one of QPR? You excited?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's just very grateful to be part of this team, this club. I mean, it's now that I've joined, I see the rich tradition, the history, the fan base is massive. So really happy about it all. Like I said, can't wait to get started. We've had a couple of preseason friendlies. Got one more this week to kind of finish us off for preseason and then get ready to go. So just excited about it all, ready for it to kick off and see what one of the craziest leagues in the world has to offer. I'm sure you are too, Martin. Obviously, a lot of change at Saints, and
I'm nervous.
Let's see what it brings. Yeah,
I'm nervous to the Sky Bet Championship. I'm really nervous. I'm looking forward to seeing you down at St Mary's in a couple of weeks' time. I just hope it's a 0-0 draw. It's going to be a tough day for me.
Yeah,
really.
we'll take that. We'll take that.
I won't want to see you concede, and obviously, obviously my team, you want to see win, but yeah, it's a tough one for me. Seeing my friend play, my boss play, and yeah, it'd be a bit of a torn day. Looking forward to heading back to the Potters, though. You get to head back to Stoke City. I know there was loads of messages from Stoke fans when you signed for QPR, giving you best wishes. They'll be excited to see you back at the Potters, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game, of course, going back there. Always, I mean, it's a great club. Love that club, and it's always nice to visit them, see the fans. Which is always super, and I'm excited. There's so many games. I mean, the grounds we get to, we're gonna get to go to the atmospheres. We're going to experience. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That's for sure.
It's exciting. You've pulled your gloves back on. You're back in training, and it brings me on nicely when we say you've pulled your gloves back on. AB1 GK. Obviously, I work with you on the project on a daily basis. We've got some exciting news that I'm sure people have seen. It's being leaked. You were seen in a new glove in your announcement with QPR when they unrevealed you a few weeks ago. Asmir, tell me more. Tell our listeners a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you rightly said, if you look at our, the announcement with QPR, we wanted to have some fun with it, Martin, didn't we? And we've been working on a new range for a while, of course. Our Uno 3.0 range, which is always due to be released in the summer, is due to be released in the coming weeks. And we thought this was the perfect opportunity to give people a little glimpse. Obviously, they've seen quite a lot of the gloves, so it's a glove that I'll be wearing in the coming weeks. And
which glove are you wearing, Asmir? For anybody that's seen it, which glove are you wearing in your photo shoot the other day?
You know that I always wear the Icon. The Icon Pro is my glove of choice, as I've always as I've worn for many years now. It's one of our best sellers. People love it. So when they actually saw the messages, when they saw the pictures, the amount of messages we've had was incredible. So I'll be wearing the Icon, Martin, and continue that tradition.
It's slightly different this time round. It's kept the main features of the Icon, the latex that everybody loves, the latex gusset that everyone loves, and that beautiful full latex backhand. But it has a slightly different finish on the fingertips, a little bit of the Indici almost pulling through to Uno this time.
Well, we're always looking to evolve, Martin. I think we can add different bits to it. I think, again, that will give it a really nice feel on the glove. I think the change of fingertips, I think just the fresh look, I think is really what strikes people immediately is it's going to be a different look. We've had the same look for, the last, well, basically ever since we've had our range, 4 years, and I think we do a fresh look, and I think it's going to be really nice, clean, striking look, which is really, really important. And I think that's going to draw people to it. And Martin, as you said, we've made a couple subtle changes. But again, because the glove has been so popular, because we've had amazing reviews on it and our Uno range, we don't want to change too much. We know it's our classic glove range. Wouldn't say it's for all the goalkeeping traditionalists like myself, but I think it's a super range where with your negative cut gloves, with your roll finger cut gloves, if you like the traditional, classic goalkeeping glove, then that's the range for you.
I think the one thing that I really love about the Uno range this year is the introduction of the full latex strap that's slightly wider, but it's more of a pro style strap. It's one that's used by many professional indoorsers. It's something that we wanted to use. There's no embossing on it. It's not been heat applied at all. It's just a fresh latex strap. And doesn't that fit well? I tried the glove on again today actually, and just think the fit and the feel of it, it's really gone on a notch. I'm not just saying it because I work in the brand, but I just think it just feels a more of a premium product than it's ever felt for me.
Well, that's kind of our drive, Martin, is we want to create a really premium, high quality product for some of the best prices. If you look at some of the other brand names in the game, you're paying double for a non-superior product. And I think that's what people are not getting the gist of, is they can come to us at AB1GK and get top quality for much less. So I think that's something great that what goalkeepers love. I think it's what the kids love, and of course it's the parents as well that love it. So it's exactly what we strive to do, is we make that high-end product, Martin, with the high-end touches, with the highest of quality, but we keep our prices incredibly competitive. And I think that's been what's been our success so far. It's exactly what our business model is. It's exactly how we want to be in the market. And, I think it's going to work really well.
I'm probably more excited about this Uno launch than I've ever been of an Uno launch. So guys, if you're tuning in, stay tuned. The next couple of weeks, we're not far away now from the launch of Uno 3.0. It's our best yet, without any question. It's definitely gone up a few levels for sure, Asmir. I bet you're as excited as I am, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's super excited, Martin. I mean, I think you've put in a lot of work. I mean, you're such an integral part of the brand, and obviously one of my partners, and you do a lot of product research, you do a lot of product testing. We put a lot of time, effort into our ranges, and this one's going to be awesome. I think the quality of it, I think the little subtle changes will be fantastic. But at the same time, keeping a really classic glove. We don't want to mess with what's good. People love the grip, people love the feel, so we don't want to mess with a good thing too much. And as you rightly say, Martin, we're excited. Yeah, it's time for the 3.0. It's going to be coming in the weeks ahead. We'll keep everyone updated on our socials. You'll get your emails. Everyone who follows us will know what's going on, and we can't wait for it all to be released.
Yeah, it's going to be a big final end to the year for AB1GK, guys. There's one really exciting product that's going to come a little bit later on, but we'll have to wait till the weather turns. That's all I'm going to say at the moment, but I'm excited for the final part of this year.
I think so, Martin. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. I mean, as we always do. Plenty of we love our customers, we love our client base. We're growing all the time, and it's just been such an incredible journey. And yeah, it's been really good to take this opportunity to chat with you all things AB1, and what's been a crazy summer. I think it would be silly of us not to use this opportunity and share with everyone and our listeners what's been going on, because we've had a lot of questions about what's happened and how we came to this. So just to say, like you said, really looking forward to it, Martin. It's been always fun as always with you on this, and
it's been good to sit down with you.
Yeah. Can't wait for the next few months.
Yeah, no, it's been good to sit down with you. I really enjoyed it. We've got one episode left. Episode 10 is coming up. And
season finale.
Season finale. So stay tuned for that one. It will be a corker, whatever happens. So Asmir will be back co-hosting, and I won't be asking him loads of questions.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait. So, but before we go, Martin, we always have a nice little discount code for our loyal listeners, which we'd like to share. So please share with everybody.
Yeah, we've got Pod 30. If you use that at the checkout on AB1GK's website, just hit it in the coupon box. Pod 30, you'll save 30% off your next order. That can be, as long as it's non-sale product, it can be clothing, accessories, gloves, you'll get the discount on the whole basket. It might be worth holding on to that code for that Uno 3.0 because it's going to be an absolute belter.
I see. I like what you did there. But we're all over the place. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, TikTok. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Absolutely everywhere. And of course, our podcast is on Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. So we're on YouTube now. So just follow us everywhere, guys. You leave us a review, like us. Let us know how we're doing. It helps. Our listeners are growing all the time, so we can't thank you enough for the support. We appreciate it. And yeah, like I said, it's a lot of fun to do this. Can't wait for the season finale. And then we move on into next year. So this has been a lot of fun as always, Martin.
Yeah, my last opportunity. I really want anybody that's got match day pictures of their gloves, their kit ready to go. Any match day pictures, make sure you send them in to us. We love seeing your games. We love seeing your product. We love seeing how you get on. We want to hear how each and every one of you are doing throughout the season. We follow all of you. So keep it coming. Keep tagging us. We want to follow your progress.
Absolutely. So we've got plenty of good things going on. Always preseason now. It's heating up for everybody. New seasons are on the way. So get your products, guys. And thanks for listening to us here on the podcast, Martin. You're a gentleman. Thank you so much for your time. And we'll meet up again next week.
Thank you very much indeed, Asmir.